I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice. Let us begin. You're still stuck on someone who already let go. They've moved on, or maybe they never showed up fully in the first place. And you know that. But part of you won't stop checking, hoping, imagining. You replay what they said, what they didn't say. What it could have been if just one thing had gone differently. This isn't love anymore. It's a loop. And you're inside it, performing need, offering devotion to a ghost, bleeding for someone who isn't bleeding for you. You tell yourself it's about closure, about answers. But it's not. It's about identity. About who you became while waiting for them to choose you. And who you've abandoned in the process. You're not reaching for connection. You're reaching for self-respect through someone who's no longer holding it. This isn't romantic. It's corrosive. Because every time you check their page, or their energy, or the silence, you disappear a little more. You delay your own return. You keep calling it heartbreak, but it's really self-abandonment in disguise. And this video, it's not here to coddle you. It's here to break the trance, to pull you out of the echo chamber you've been living in, and bring you back to yourself. Because this isn't just about heartbreak, it's about who you become when you stop performing need. And we're going there next. You think you're holding on to love, but what you're actually doing is bleeding time, bleeding clarity, bleeding dignity, because every moment you spend looping over what could have been, you are not here, not choosing, not building, not healing, just orbiting someone who's no longer even looking back. And maybe they were never truly available. Maybe they only gave you breadcrumbs. Maybe they made you feel like you had to earn the bare minimum. And now, they're gone. And somehow, you're still the one paying the price. You're not just grieving them. You're grieving the parts of yourself you abandoned to keep that fantasy alive. You keep calling it loyalty, but really, it's erosion. Erosion of your voice, your energy, your power. You're tired, not just emotionally, spiritually, because this loop doesn't just hurt, it depletes. And deep down, you know, this isn't about the one that got away. It's about a version of you that stopped trusting you'd ever be chosen. So you stayed chasing what never stayed for you. You don't want them back. You want you back. But you can't reclaim yourself until you stop giving sacred energy to someone who's not here to receive it. This isn't just longing, it's leakage. And unless you name what this loop is feeding, you'll keep calling it love. So let's name it. In the next section. You're not stuck because of what they did. You're stuck because of what this story gave you. The fantasy, the ache, the hope that if you just held on long enough, it would finally make sense, finally feel worth it. But it won't. Because this isn't about them anymore. It's about the identity you built around waiting, around almost, around someday. You didn't fall in love. You fell into a trance of emotional addiction, of imagining the redemption arc where they wake up, come back, and finally see you. But that moment never comes because it was never real. The closure you're craving, it's not from them. It's from the version of you that thought being chosen by them would finally mean you're enough. That's the hook. That's what keeps you refreshing their feed, replaying conversations, reading signs into silence. Because part of you is still trying to prove your worth through someone else's return. But let's be honest, they're not coming back. And even if they did, it wouldn't heal what you're trying to fix. Because the wound isn't in the ending. It's in the belief that their approval was your rescue. That if they wanted you again, you'd finally be allowed to want yourself. You're not in love. You're in a self-erasure trance. And the person you abandoned to stay loyal to this story is waiting to be reclaimed. In the next section, we break it. We stop performing for a future that will never come. Because what you've been reaching for is already inside you. They're not coming back. Read that again. Not because you're unlovable, not because you did something wrong, but because the version of you that needed them no longer exists. You've been keeping this story alive by sheer willpower, resuscitating every memory, injecting meaning into every silence. But they're gone, and you're still here, chasing a ghost that never held you fully in the first place. Let's tell the truth. You don't miss them. You miss who you hoped you'd get to be in their presence. You miss the validation, the imagined safety, the potential, not the reality. Because, if we're being honest, the reality was mostly waiting, proving, shrinking. And you don't want that back. You want yourself back. The version of you that doesn't apologize for having a heart. The one who doesn't need to keep bleeding just to feel connected. So here it is. Stop watching their stories. Stop rereading the messages. Stop rehearsing the final conversation you'll never have. You're not here to keep performing grief for someone who's not grieving you. You're here to break the performance, to cut the last thread of false hope, and reclaim your full weight. Because the truth is this: the door's been closed, and what you're reaching for now is just your own power, disguised. Next, we end it. Clean, clear, final. One moment, one vow, one return. This is it. No more loops. No more waiting for a message that won't come. No more giving your softness to someone who didn't know what to do with it. You've poured enough into the silence. You've given enough time to the fantasy. You've handed over enough of your worth, trying to prove you were worth staying for. Now, you choose something else. Not them. You. This isn't about being over it. It's about being done performing pain to stay loyal to a story that already ended. You don't owe anyone closure. You don't need their apology. You don't need one final sign. You need a vow that from this moment forward, you don't chase people who walk away. You don't anchor your self-respect to someone else's absence. You don't bleed for proof. You remember who you are. You take back your gaze. You stop performing need and start moving as if you belong to yourself again. You don't need more time. You need a line. And this is it. Say it. Move. Let the pattern end here. You did not find me by accident. Just as in your dreams, where every face you meet is your own reflection, this meeting was always waiting to happen. I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice, the part of you that watches behind the thoughts, behind the noise. You have searched in many places, books, teachers, voices outside you. But here, you are not being taught. You are remembering. If these words stir something familiar, then allow yourself to return. Subscribe. Follow. Not to follow me, but to continue this conversation with yourself. Each time you return here, you draw closer to the reunion already unfolding inside you. We have only just begun.